About time for another Coach Life. Pardon the noise. Enjoy the candle. This Coach Life is about Nigeria. For those that don't know, Nigeria is a country in Africa. Africa is a continent. It's huge. The world maps are lies. Africa is ginormous. Nigeria, where's the name come from? Well, some would say it was from a white woman who decided to call it Nigeria. What was originally the slave coast, where many millions of slaves or free people who became slaves were transported into the transatlantic slave trade, led by the Portuguese, facilitated by trade routes which were largely established by Arabs, and also facilitated by kings and kingdoms in Africa who saw the value of the slave trade. So our hands are not clean of it. But here's what happened. How did Nigeria become Nigeria? Well, at first, it was just a slave coast. It was where Great Britain and the colonial power, the Portuguese, and the Arab conglomerates facilitated the slave trade. Well, when the slave trade was being abolished, when people were working out of the raw resource of human capital, they transitioned to palm oil. Palm oil proved to be lucrative. The kingdoms that had their natural resources in their homeland tried to be a part of it. Great Britain established companies which then owned, these contracts are literally in English, like how they claim ownership in Africa is crazy. But that's what happened. And then I believe it was called the Royal Niger Company, which had like north and south slave coast property, which was mostly Nigeria. The Royal Niger Company sold their holdings, which is Nigeria, to the British government and named it Nigeria. So it's literally a company. Now, I learned this through some YouTube videos, two from Nigerians, native Nigerians who felt compelled to share this history. And here's the catch. The gentleman said he learned through a Burna Boy song. Another story. Burna Boy put him on, and he did his research. Now, if you're not familiar with the Berlin Conference is how the Congo was greenlit and the millions killed and maimed in King Leopold's heinous crusade for rubber. If you're not familiar with indigo and the devastation of Haiti, I suggest you do some research there. So and obviously Nigeria is today's topic. So I figured I'd just keep giving you little bits of history. Why? Because yesterday I was going on a rant to some of my students and coworkers about Harriet Tubman and just putting them on to Harriet, because I was in a Harriet vibe. And then as I was finishing my rant, one of them was they all left. The last one was leaving. I said, yo, I'm just tight. Y'all don't know any Black history. And she said, I know Black history. The slaves were freed, and gave me the exact date. And I was like, damn, they got us. It's been generations and generations of brainwashing of Black history. So I figure I'd give you something fresh to spark some investigations. Coach Life, ciao.